you know, it's nice to have you here because sometimes we see some players doing good on the pitch and then we want to know more about them. And then we realize, no, there's not many information out there. This is your third year in Hong Kong. Is there anything changed for you?
No, it's the same. I have the same objective. I try to fight every game and give my best for help the team.
Good. You're doing good so far. But let's talk about your past. Because you're from Buenos Aires, I have to ask you, River Plate or Boca Juniors?
River Plate.
How come?
No, because all my family is from River Plate.
Have you seen Pablo Aimar because you look up to him so much?
Yeah, because when I was young, I always watched he play in River Plate, and then in that moment he is the best player of the team.
El Monumental?
Yes.
Wow.
You know, huh?
But did you start football because of him?
Not really, not really.
When did you start?
I started to play after 10 years old.
Looks to me like a bit late, isn't it?
Yeah, for my country it's late because normally the young boys start in 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, and they get professional contracts at 8 years old.
Yeah. But in my case it's different. I start to play so late.
Do you love football then? Did you love football?
Until that moment I don't watch, I don't like too much.
Jonathan Acosta, the professional footballer who doesn't love football.
Before, yes, before then 10 years old, no.
Why did you start playing football then?
I remember I started to play because my parents bring me to some academy to help to follow my brother, because my brother really like, and then my father say, okay, if he go, he is younger than you, and then you need to follow him for help, you know. That's why I start to play.
But you don't say no.
No, in that moment I follow my parents, what he say, you know.
So how was the academy? Was it competitive or that?
No, in that moment the academy is from my small city, and then it's not like professional. It's only go for play the games, only like enjoy, you know. It's not too much professional in that moment.
But you quit school to go to the academy.
Yeah, I started to play there for 2 years, and then after this I start to training in the professional academy, you know.
So give us a picture of one day in your academy life. It's like, for example, you go to training in the afternoon, am I right?
Yeah. It's like this. In the morning, I go to the school normally until afternoon, and after the school, I go to training. But when you have already 15 years old, you need to choose, because sometimes the school is more longer and you don't have time to go to training.
Yeah.
And then more of the football players in my country, they stop studying.
Did you finish ciclo básico?
No.
I see. But the training is about 2 hours per day.
Yeah, it's 2 hours, but sometimes the club is far away, you know. In my case, I remember I need to take a train and bus, and for my home to training, I have 2 hours for go and 2 hours for back.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so far. That's why you need to choose. Sometimes don't have choice.
But do you not have to do anything to impress the coach by going extra training?
No, I didn't like to do extra, but I always try to do my job inside the pitch, you know.
But to me, you don't give me a impression that you really liked football. So what pushed you forward?
I always say my father, because he really liked, and also he tried to be professional football player, but he cannot. And then his dream is one of his son can be, you know.
So now he's quite proud.
Sure, he's very happy now.
But you say it was because your younger brother that you started to go into the academy. What about him? Did you both become football players?
No, he also played until 20 years old. But after this, he stopped and he chose to work, because in that moment he played in Division 4 in my country, and then the salary is not really high. And then in that moment he have one daughter, and then he chose to work, you know.
Well, this is quite a bit sad, isn't it?
Yes.
You have to forgive football because of life.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like this.
You know, if Hong Kong Premier League is something in Argentina, what kind of tier would it be?
I don't know how can compare, you know, because the football is totally different. Maybe I can say maybe Division 3.
Wow, Division 3.
Yeah, maybe.
Is it professional in your country?
Yeah, until Division 4. Until Division 4 is professional.
So many teams then?
Yeah, a lot of teams. You know, Buenos Aires is the city who have more teams of the world. Buenos Aires have more than 200 teams.
But are there so many viewers to watch the game?
Yes.
Wow, that's so impressive.
Yes, sure.
So is your first overseas experience with the team called Playa Colonia in Uruguay?
No, I didn't play there. I don't know why
What?
many people ask me if I play there. But I didn't play in
Because
Uruguay.
we look up transfer markets.
Yeah, in Trafford, I
So
also
you didn't play there?
No.
Two more extra questions I need to ask you. Did you play in the youth team of the Argentina national team?
No, never.
And did you receive an iPhone as the Man of the Match award in one match back in November 2020, namely Kitche versus Lehman? Did you?
No, this is not real.
Then what
it's
is
just
that?
kidding.
Because it's very new, yeah? It can't be like something you
Yeah,
bring
because
it.
one of the staff, he helped me to buy, and then he bring me in this game, and then I remember this game, I was the man of the match.
Yeah.
And then when he gave me and he said, this is for man of the match, then more of the players don't understand, like you.
Yeah, we thought we were real, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's not real.
But what did you get from the club for Man of the Match award? Did
No,
you get anything?
No.
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 But you scored a good goal there, didn't you, that day?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, your first overseas experience is with Happy Valley,
Yes.
right in Hong Kong. That was December of 2013. I wasn't watching football at that time, so I looked it up and I saw you had decent performance with the team and you left 6 months later. And then I looked at what happened to Happy Valley at the time, and what I could say is, que quilombo. But first of all, you're playing in Hong Kong. How did that happen?
Yes, when I come to Hong Kong, I come to Happy Valley. In that moment, I just play 6 months because I come for 1 year, but the que quilombo. The problem in that moment, that's why I need to come back. Because in that moment, I have contract with the Argentinian team, and then I just come for 1 year.
For a long period.
Yes. And then when the problem come in, my club, in that moment, they call me for come back. But honestly, I want to stay in that moment. I remember I was looking other team for stay, but finally my team in Argentina, they called me for come back.
What is the hardest thing for you to adapt when you first play in Hong Kong? Artificial turf?
Yeah, sure. But normally it's in the training. In the games it's not artificial. That's why only in the training is okay.
So after Happy Valley, you're back in Argentina again. You played in different teams, different countries, and different positions. So now basically you're an attacking mid, but before that you play as the forward.
Yes, not many games, but because more of the team, many teams in Argentina or in other countries don't play with attack midfield. They just use to hold the midfield and then move forward, That's why sometimes I need to change my style or my position.
But the game in Christmas, we have two forwards out. Did you tell the coach, I can play as a forward, can you?
Yeah, because I was playing before. That's why I proposed I also can help the team in that position.
You tell Chen Heuming that you can play in forward?
No, he asked me for play there, and I say, okay, I will try because I played before,
When was that?
I don't remember when.
But it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, we see why then. In early 19, you're back in Hong Kong again with Dreams FC. The first time I saw you, it was the Sapling Cup. Oh, do you know the Sapling Cup we won that year? It was so good. Good times. Okay, only one question. Did you get the salary back?
Yeah, they pay me everything. I cannot say nothing.
I just want to know, when did Lehman contact you?
I remember after one game when Dreams, we win 6-0. Do you remember this game?
Did we happen? When?
Lehman and Dreams 6-0, the game,
What happened? I don't know. I don't think I know that the game.
You don't remember this game?
I don't think it happened, does it? No, it doesn't happen. Where does it happen? When?
I think it's in May.
Oh, I think we're still celebrating, so we were still drunk. No one cares.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so after that game, Lehman contacted you.
Yeah, I don't know if this week or after 2 weeks they contact me.
So how long did you take to consider the offer?
No, not too much. It's fast. I think it's fast.
Okay. So when we come back, we're going to talk about your current times with Lehman then. When someone gives you something, what do you say?
Toche.
So when a referee gives you a yellow card, what did you say? Tell me something about the team.
We receive a lot of information about other teams, about us, and then that's why I think in these 3 years we improve a lot. Chao sina hai kam sina ha chi choi wana.